Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Wednesday, April 30th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Ready,
No, it's not 2014, but the Ice Bucket Challenge has taken social media by storm again.
Saw it as an opportunity and a platform to bring more awareness to mental health issues.
Back then, it was a campaign for ALS awareness and fundraising. Today, it's about mental health.
Today we want to nominate Thousand Sports Canada.
A wider audience again is always a good thing, so I thought we would accept the challenge and take the opportunity to use that platform and get that message out there to hopefully reach more people.
The resurgence started at the University of South Carolina, but the Speak Your Mind Ice Bucket Challenge is causing chills in Canada too.
Raising awareness leads to action. And what we really want is more people and more people to get comfortable with the idea that it's okay to not be okay and that help is available.
If people want to make donations, absolutely. There are plenty of foundations that would graciously accept donations, but it was more about getting the message out that says, these are the people that can help you.
For the Zatzman Sportsplex, community is at the core of mental health awareness.
You see a lot of people come through these doors knowing that the benefits that they get from participating in activities in this facility are beneficial to them and to their mental health, and it's detrimental to their mental health when they don't come to the facility.
Some are also donating to the ALS Association for old time's sake, but mental health initiatives are the main focus and the big benefactors this time around. So if you get challenged, challenge 5 others to raise awareness. As for me, I say challenge accepted. Breathe fully. CTV News, Dartmouth.
Spring has sprung and the buds are blooming.
The weather, the pond, the zoo, there's just so much going on here at High Park.
Kicking off cherry blossom season in High Park. Steve Joniak, a cherry blossom enthusiast and founder of SakuraInHighPark.com, says they are a quintessential part of the season.
The Sakura cherry blossom has always been a symbol of spring. It's one of the first blossoms to bloom. They're just beautiful to look at.
The trees have a long history in the park dating back to April 1st, 1959, when more than 2,000 were gifted to the city of Toronto by a Japanese ambassador, a gift that keeps on giving.
It's really good to have a break from the everyday busyness of life. To be here, everyone's happy, taking pictures of each other. That's what I really like.
According to the High Park Nature Center's website, the blooms happen in 6 stages. As of April 28th, the trees are in stage 4, with people taking advantage of the early stage blooms.
The cherry blossoms for sure was the immediate draw here.
I love how they're so beautiful and they make me feel like I'm in my own world.
I like how they're calming almost.
I love how they're pink and make me feel like the main character.
I like how they're pretty and they're not too dark pink, but they're pale pink.
And then peak bloom will likely follow around May 3rd and continue into May 9th. But that all depends on the weather.
Once they are at peak bloom and stage 6, they last 4 to 10 days. For more information on the cherry blossoms, you can visit the highparknaturecenter.com or the City of Toronto's website and search cherry blossom. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
In the heart of Winnipeg's Osborne Village is the Happy Cooker. As a matter of safety, Mark Bartling says knives have always been kept under lock and key, and staff are trained to handle their sale with care.
As retailers, we're not trained in any kind of area with regard to de-escalation or recognising any kind of addiction. That's not our job, but our job is to remain calm.
Soon, street teams with that type of training will be patrolling the popular area.
Community safety is not part of what we do as biz zones. That is really, the municipality that is responsible for providing public safety. So we are here just really as a bridge between providing public safety through really just community support.
Saray Gervais says the Osborne Village Biz has hired 8 community safety ambassadors who will walk a patrol route during peak hours starting in May. She says a big part of setting up the team is a response to rising drug issues and giving people someone to call if they're feeling uncertain.
People say, I see something happening. I'm not sure if this is, a police call or if this is a community service call, like who do I contact about this? And so we're able to provide a bit of support in that way.
Bartling says the Happy Cooker has been on this busy corner for 51 years. In that time, he says the area has cycled through many ups and downs when it comes to development and issues of homelessness.
And it's bouncing back right now. You can feel it. There's new restaurants, there's new businesses, there's new apartments and condos. So we're moving in the right direction.
He says any area is safer when there are more eyes and ears around. Michelle Gerwing, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Good afternoon, this is CTV News at 5. I'm Matt Skube.
That's his name, but to many, he's
Scooby.
Scooby! Matt Skube has been part of the CTV News Ottawa team since 2013.
All right, let's go.
Doing almost everything except what he actually applied for.
He wanted to be our sports guy.
Feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. And I don't know what it was. I watched his tape and I saw him something different.
PA day for the kids. Hey, have fun on that, kids, if you're watching right now.
There was a tiny bit of weather on his demo tape. And that's what we ended up hiring for.
Oh boy, here we go. It's kind of a foreshadow.
Matt's work at Thunder Bay Television and his personality caught our news director's attention.
How about that?
He shines on camera. It comes through each and every day when you're watching the news. But when you meet Matt in person, he's the exact same person. He's a ton of fun to be around.
What's happening with these two lows, they're going to split.
Right away, Matt made an impact.
I just remember he came in here over a decade ago, and he came in with such energy. And he was so passionate about everything.
Talk about cool. What are you doing?
He embraced it all with such enthusiasm.
It's a tough life, but hey, somebody's got to do it.
From television to hosting a weekend radio show.
1, 2, 3, Red Black!
And being on the sidelines for the Red Blacks' first season.
I'm kind of like a kid on Christmas at this point.
He's done it all.
He's in here suggesting stories, putting ideas forward, helping younger reporters. Could kind of do it all. He's the whole package, and he will be very much missed in here.
Matt Scooby, who's back there in a polyester suit. You're
so hot back here.
His enthusiasm unmatched.
It is that time of year.
Matt's love for all things Christmas on another level.
Let's go. Now it's fun time.
Every year, playing a pivotal role in the Toy Mountain campaign as the chief elf officer.
It's his joy, the infectious joy that he brings, rallying viewers and partners to support the campaign, sharing the important stories of those that are impacted by it, but of course, all of those thousands, hundreds of thousands of children and families that have had a brighter Christmas because of the support that he's brought.
Let's do it, Mar.
Matt has been the face of CTV News at 5 since it launched in 2017.
And a beautiful day today. Yeah.
And a part of CTV News at 6.
Ever wonder if you'd be better off without gluten?
He also joined me on the weekend anchor desk. It just worked.
So right now the tornado warning has been issued.
He's told major stories with compassion and integrity.
There really is no reason to be outside right now.
Right as soon as he arrived at the scene, it was instant friends. We both love to sing and dance, and we clicked over musical theater.
Look at me, I'm the king of New York.
Matt got to seize the day going behind the scenes at Newsies,
Chris Cross,
Disney's Tony Award-winning musical.
Pan Am Games, woo! Yeah!
Nailing choreography on stage and the ice.
Double your money. Double your money.
The community a focus at every CHEO telethon.
It's a great thing to do.
We kind of rev each other up. The energy is high, and we are feeding off of each other and bringing that telethon to life the best we can.
What he's most proud of, though, is the family he's built with Trisha, Asher, Leo, and of course, Gus.
Oh.
And there's been no shortage of fun.
Lovely.
Welcome to CTV News on Air. Let's do that one. Do that one again.
Sorry.
Yeah. Did you just Go ahead.
Dressing for success here, Matt Skube. It is time. We are almost at 30 degrees.
Well, still to come tonight, who cut the cheese?
A man in Wisconsin did. Don't point at me.
I was really happy that he started out in weather and not sports, because I was like, oh God, he's going to take my job sooner than later.
We should see about 10 centimeters on the ground.
That's such a gift for sort of putting people at ease.
To think that we had that much water.
And being able to tell stories and do it in such a likable and respected, incredible way.
And the grand prize goes to...
He also has a way of winning.
I want to make it clear that any competition that I've been on this show, on Morning Live, I have not lost.
That's true.
That's it. That's it.
It turns out the commissioner of our work pickleball league that brought dozens of us together every week is pretty good. But the real winners have been the community he's dedicated so much to.
Donate. Donate now. Do it now.
And all of us, lucky to call him a colleague and friend.
The tire, 4 summer tires for sale, $280 for all 4 of them.
Jimmy Gadiali listed these tires for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Within minutes, he received a message from someone named Michael, one that would end up costing him $2,000.
Michael said, I'm out of town and I'll be back in town on Monday.
Michael offered to pay right away, sight unseen, through Interac. Gadiali wasn't sure, but ended up sending him his email. Then he received an email, supposedly from Meridian Credit Union. It said funds are waiting, and to claim them, he needed to select his bank. He clicked TD, but the link said it could not process the transfer. It wasn't until hours later he received a real email from TD Bank,
saying that $2,000 has been pulled out of your account.
Tech analyst Carmi Levy says this has all the markings of a rogue link scam.
A link to a website that, of course, was designed to either steal his information or access his financial account directly.
Levy says it can happen to anyone, both buyers and sellers. All it takes is a click.
The intent was to steal you blind, or the intent was to steal your information in another way.
And there's no foul-proof way to stay safe.
And then they use that to conduct further fraud. You can reduce your risk as much as you want, but you can't eliminate it completely.
The people behind these scams, Levy says they're getting smarter and faster.
He's got 97 friends.
They're making sure that there are lots of friends on there. They're also making sure that there are lots of reviews.
They mimic legit accounts, even build fake histories. Levy says the best defense, meet in person with cash in a public place. And he thinks tech giants need to do more.
The companies themselves that provide these services, for example, Meta, they have simply not risen to the occasion. They do not do anything to really rein this in.
After realizing he'd been scammed, Gadiali acted fast. He called his bank's fraud line and filed a police report. While he's not expecting to see that money again, he hopes his mistake can be a lesson to others.
Be very careful. Only cash transactions, nothing else.
And remember to look twice before you click any link. Laurence Brisson-Dubreuil, CTV News.
The original building was a house on this property. They built this building over top of the house in 1956.
That building is the iconic Ben's Meats on Stony Plain Road, a business that has not only survived, but thrived for 71 years.
A lot has changed in the last 71 years. Ben's Meats was originally just a meat shop when my grandfather started. In mid-80s, my dad started selling Dutch imports from the Netherlands.
Growing up, David Van Leeuwen always dreamed of becoming a butcher and taking over the family business.
Did not think I'd ever move the store as a kid.
But that time has come, and operations at this location will soon wrap up.
Space has become a huge issue for us. Freezer space, customer space, staff space, parking space.
Work is underway on a new home for the business a little further west on 184th Street and 105th Avenue.
It opens up opportunities. So by doubling our space, we are going to be adding a sitting area like we used to have before COVID. We're going to add a gluten-free cafe. We are adding smokers and barbecues that we're selling. We're going to be growing with our gluten-free. We're adding more gluten-free options.
Space may have been the biggest motivator to move, but Van Leeuwen says operating where they are now is increasingly challenging.
With the road closures, I'm hearing from customers having a hard time accessing us. Parking is always an issue around here. You know, just the neighborhood itself is getting a little rougher, and it's just, you know, some people don't feel feel safe.
Long-time and new customers are looking forward to the new location.
That's a very good sign for them and for the industry.
I will be there. I'm coming back wherever they are.
Van Leeuwen is excited and nervous about the move, ready to carve out a new history for Ben's Meats.
I'm looking at the growth. I'm not looking at the past. I'm more looking at the future.
The new location is expected to open in mid-June. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
61 nonprofits, from cancer support groups to youth mentorship programs, set up to recruit helpers and raise awareness at the annual YYC Volunteer Fair.
I have a golf program that we're short of five volunteers for that starts next week, and so we have ratios that we need to meet with our athletes, the coaches, and for a lot of our programs we just aren't able to reach those.
Fair organizers say volunteerism is down countrywide, citing a number of factors, key among them a tight economy.
It's a catch-22, you know, affordability makes it tougher to volunteer. Affordability means we need more volunteers, and so we just have to do what we can to raise awareness.
Over 750 Calgarians packed the U of C downtown campus Tuesday looking for ways to help their community.
I'm talking to these people and thinking, well, I'd like to volunteer here and here and here and here, and it's an abundance of, you know, really worthy causes.
Just helping people in itself is a reward, even when I have a busy life.
Agencies recruiting help run the gamut, from ones you likely know, like Meals on Wheels, to some you might not recognize, like the African Cancer Support Group.
That's our niche. So we support Black people in Canada going through cancer. We provide culturally appropriate cancer care.
16-year-old Riley Budd founded Be a Bud 3 years ago. The teenage goalie recruited other netminders and donors who now give money for every save they make throughout the year. He's not here looking for more goalies. His charity's taken off, raising over $50,000. Now he needs adults with business skills to help him manage it.
As kids, it's hard to run something this big, and it's growing, which is amazing, but that also means we have to keep up, and running social media, running the silent auctions, it's a lot to handle.
This is the fourth year the Volunteer Fair has been held in Calgary during National Volunteer Week. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
This will be one of the marquee events in Canadian esports history.
For the first time, the Call of Duty League Championship weekend is coming to Canada. For 4 days at the end of June, the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium will turn into an esports arena.
The Aud has hosted everything. Monster trucks, hockey, the circus, concerts. Esports was a new one that we could try and tackle.
Organizers say the show is like a concert, but the competition runs like a sporting event.
The stage is different than a concert. It'll be in the middle, so it'll be at center ice. We'll have seating 360 all the way around, so that's going to maximize the number of people we can get in this building.
Last year's championship in Texas drew thousands of fans and had a prize pool of over $2 million. Overactive Media says knowing this year would be in Canada, they explored options in Toronto and surrounding communities, but found the perfect fit in Kitchener.
I would like to make this a recurring event. I would like to bring other events there too. Because it's also much more cost effective for the fan.
10 of the top professional Call of Duty teams from around the world will qualify for the competition, and temporary upgrades will be made to meet their needs. As for ticket sales, the organizers say some sections of the arena are already sold out, but there are still many tickets available. However, they expect by the end of May, when all the teams have qualified for the championship, tickets will start to sell out.
Once you start getting the increase in attention from the teams out in LA and Dallas and Boston, etc., they're just going to start to get busy.
Skube says it's shaping up to be one of the largest events ever held at the arena.
Hotels will be full that weekend for sure. Restaurants will be busy. Retail will be busy. The Aud will be busy.
They're cheering and screaming and yelling and decked out. It's more passionate. I kid you not. It's more passionate than a Leafs playoff game. And I went to a Leafs playoff game 3 days ago.
The Call of Duty Championships will be held June 26th to 29th at the Aud. Colton Ween, CTV News, Kitchener.
In the early days of the pandemic, the music programs at St. Anne's and St. Michael's secondary schools in Stratford and Clinton reached out to a composer to commission a piece about the student experience during COVID.
When everything got canceled, we had so much to look forward to, and all of a sudden it all just ended.
Teacher teachers thought they'd audition the piece in the fall of 2020 when the pandemic was over. But it wasn't over. On again, off again, classes and rehearsals continued for more than 2.5 years, and it seemed like the piece that was inspired by the students' ideas and feelings around the pandemic may never see the light of day.
They felt awful. They couldn't see their friends. We had these plans, and then to see it come out and start again, it's been great. Yeah. Just to see these back like it was, but it's been 5 years.
Socially distanced parking lot rehearsals, Zoom calls, and finally in-person rehearsals, along with a lot of perseverance, has led to After the Silence finally getting a voice. Students joined forces last week to audition the 3-part piece about the initial shock of the pandemic, the dark times during the worst of it, and ultimately coming out the other side.
We're still here, we're still kicking around. There's obviously got a little bumpy for a while, but we're here making music. And, whether it was, 2 or 3 months later or 5 years later, the end result is fantastic.
Well, I have such admiration for these students and these teachers in the schools being that patient and then still retaining the enthusiasm for the project this many years later.
While there is a great reason to celebrate, COVID's impacts still linger in schools, and in this instance, school music programs.
This band that's playing right now is like 60 people, but it's 2 schools combined. We used to be 60 people, 1 school.
After the Silence will be featured at school concerts later this week at both schools and will be something the bands play at competitions, possibly for years to come.
The pandemic, the shutdown, whatever it was, whatever we're feeling, art can put a voice to that.
In Stratford, Scott Miller, CTV News.
My life.
Before he grew up to speak publicly about his athletic shoes,
and they played a pivotal role in my life. They're very important to me.
Siobhan Meny says he was a boy suffering from a painful condition that left him confined to his bed for almost a year.
After that, everything went downhill for me.
When he returned to school, his grades descended, his weight increased, and the then 14-year-old began being bullied.
Every day was darkness, every day was sadness.
Until one day, when he was 16, Siobhan says he hit rock bottom.
I was like, this is not where I want to be life. This is not where my story ends.
That's when Siobhan fell to his knees and felt compelled to do push-ups.
It went horrible. I wasn't able to do even more than two to 3 push-ups.
But instead of being deterred, Siobhan set the unlikely goal of running a 50-kilometer ultramarathon.
I made the vow to myself that day. No matter how hard an obstacle will be, I will keep pushing forward.
After months of training up to 5 hours a day, Siobhan finished a series of shorter races before eventually completing not 1, but 2 ultramarathons.
I felt very happy. Of course, it was joy, but that doesn't end right there.
Siobhan was inspired to accomplish even more goals, including holding a plank for 1 minute while balancing 76 kilograms, more than 167 pounds, on his back.
Every record that I broke was wearing these shoes right here.
And everything that happened before he began wearing them, Siobhan says, he's actually grateful for.
All the negative things, because that transformed me into becoming a positive person.
And while this speech recently won him first place in a local Toastmasters competition, the 21-year-old says he's ultimately honing his communication skills in the hopes of inspiring others to overcome their adversity.
Once you take those first steps, it's going to be a whole roller coaster of your journey, and you're going to not even believe all the things that you accomplished.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, North Vancouver.